So along the lines of, I mean, there are people out there with great programs. Certainly, there are people out there with really not great programs, you know. But it's never. When
you say program, what do you mean?
Like their PM, their whole maintenance program in terms of how they're managing it, and they may have been in a down cycle for any number of years, you know, without any sort of proactive address of some of the problems that are underlying. But it's never too late to head into an organization to start to make some changes for themselves or with you, or some of the knowledge they've gained from you. But just in terms of a sense of, you know, what sort of gains can be made in as bad a picture as possible, and kind of this is the holy crap, look at this place segment of the program. You know, what sort of circumstances have you walked into where literally they're saying, you know, we can't turn $1 on this. We're closing our doors.
I don't think I've ever been called in right before they close the doors. I'm just trying to think. I have one example which was kind of, I think it was really fascinating for me, and that was a few years ago. Conrail was broken up, and it was bought by CSX and Norfolk Southern. They auctioned Conrail off, and I think they got around $800 million for it.
Right.
I was working for Conrail before that happened, and the year before that happened, they cut out all their maintenance, and for the first time they showed a profit, an operating profit, no maintenance. And then the auction was based on the fact that they were making money.
Right.
But their physical plant was deteriorating. Their maintenance of the way, the tracks were deteriorating.
Right.
Locomotives were deteriorating. And I was working on the maintenance of the way with those folks. And they no longer had inspectors out in the field. They'd gotten rid of all that. And there really wasn't anything to be done because that was a business decision.
Right.
And it turns out, from the point of view of representing Conrail, it was a smart business decision, but it was a horrendous maintenance decision.
Right.
Because there were more, minor derailments, there was more track broken and stuff like that, due to not having inspectors out looking at it.
Right.
In another situation, I was working for the U.S. Mint. And they had a process where they were blanking quarters. Now, if you can visualize this process, they have a strip of this special clad metal.
Okay.
They stamp out 11 at a time that happens to fit on the sheet. And then they fall through the press to a conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt takes it to the operation that puts the face and the tails, the heads and the tails on it.
Okay.
Around the conveyor belt were blanks that had fallen off the conveyor belt in a pile. And we looked at this, and this was like, every couple of days or weeks or whatever, somebody had to shovel those blanks, and they had to get rid of them because they weren't allowed to use them once they touched the ground. And it was a large number. It was about 9,000 blanks a day were rolling off this conveyor belt and collecting under the machine. Now, traditionally, that would be a very first place to look, is like piles of crap on the floor. Is the first place you would look for lean.
Right.
Now, I asked them, I said, well, what can we do about this? I said, can we, put a chute in? And they said, no. I said, why not? He said, because any engineering change to a coining machine has to be approved by Washington, because a country's coinage in the old days, when it was gold and silver,
right, is
sacrosanct. It's sacred. You don't screw with the coinage.
Right.
So they don't let them touch the machines, except to replace like with like. So I said, okay. I said, are you allowed to put in cardboard and duct tape? And they talked about it, and they said, yeah, we're probably allowed to do that.
Right.
So they designed and put in a chute of cardboard and duct tape that left not enough space for a coin that's on its edge to roll off.
Right.
So that the cardboard would knock the coin over, and they eliminated this problem. That's the kind of thing that we're talking about. We're talking about stuff that's not rocket science.
Right. That's your tax dollars at work, folks. Right. So.
Hey, they make a profit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Those people really make money.
Great.
That's my mint joke.
I love it. I love it. You just minted it. Right?